welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. This video is part of the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration. Each day of the collaboration has a new theme. Today's theme is Rustic Woodland. The hosts of the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration are Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and Krista from Krista's Crafty Life. I will include a link to both of their channels as well as a link to the playlist containing videos from all of the great contributors to the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, for this first project, I am making a book. I'm taking this scrap piece of 2x4 and a napkin that I got from Dollar General and just separating the pieces so that I will be able to Mod Podge that onto my 2x4. I'm going to cut out the part that says Happy Holidays first. And then I'm going to take this, it's Moss by Waverly Chalk Paints, and I'm going to paint the side, one of the sides and the back of my 2x4. You can paint your book whatever color you want, but I chose to go with this color. I'm really liking it. I usually go with bright colors for Christmas, but I'm really liking this green this year. And then I just paint the whole rest of the 2x4 white. Then I just take my sanding block after it's dry and rough it up a little bit to just kind of make it look more rustic. Now on the napkin, there is this image also. It has some deer and some trees on it. And that is what I'm going to be putting onto the front of my book. And I'm just using the whole part of the napkin so that way it just flows across the top of the 2x4. Then I have these wood snowflakes that I got from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to paint those white. And after I get those painted white, then I am going to put some Mod Podge on them and sprinkle white glitter on the top of these. Glitter is absolutely optional. It is not something you need to do, but I like to add a little sparkle, especially at Christmas time. I'm also going to be using some Mod Podge and glitter on the bottom of the book, and also using the end of the paintbrush to put some dots of Mod Podge onto the front of the book, and then sprinkling glitter on it as well. And there we go. You can see on the side there that green comes through the napkin. For this second project, I am taking this wooden box. I have already taken the image that was on the box. Someone else had covered it with something that just was not my style. And so I decided to make it over, and I'm going to make it over for Christmas. I'm using the truck image that was also on the napkin, and I painted the top of it white, and then I'm taking this color, it is Lacquer by Waverly Chalk Paints, and I am painting just the rim around the top of the lid, and then I'm going to use the moss on the sides of the bottom and also on the bottom of the box. And I just use a smaller paintbrush. Be very careful going around the hinges on the box because I wanted those to just stay gold. Now I go painting the bottom. Someone had written something on the bottom of there, and I sanded it, and it didn't come completely off, so I just decided to paint the whole thing. Then I just position my napkin on there where I want it, and then I put some Mod Podge on top, and then I use a piece of plastic wrap to help smooth out the napkin, and it helps create no wrinkles, and also makes it just nice and smooth and keeps me from tearing the napkin when I'm spreading it out. And then I'm taking my sanding block after it's dried and sanding off the excess napkin, and I glued a snowflake on the front to create like a closure on the front of the box. Okay, now for this next one, I'm using these salmon cans. They had this great green color to them, and these wood deer that I got from Temu. And I'm painting the deer with the color Raw Umber by Apple Barrel. I'm just going to give those one coat, and then I'm going to go back over them with some water on my paintbrush to thin the paint out, and then I'm going to take a rag and wipe back some of the paint that was on the deer. Using the water helps thin it out and makes it easier to wipe off, and it looks more like stain. Then I'm going to glue the deer onto these cans. These are salmon cans. I happen to have 4 cans, and 2 of them were this color and another 2 were more of an olive green color. And we were at Walmart looking at Christmas decorations, and I saw these little buckets, and I really liked them, but they were a little too pricey for me to just use, for just a little while every year. So I decided to make some of my own, and then when I saw these cans, I thought these are perfect. So I'm just taking some jute rope here, and I'm going to wrap that around the top about 3 times, and I'm going to secure it using hot glue. And I'm going to do that for both of my tin cans. And I really liked them. I thought they would be cute for what I'm doing with these. And then when I got these little deer, I thought this would be perfect. So I have some styrofoam down on my tin cans, and then I'm just going to take this greenery. I believe these came from Walmart last year, but they have things like this every year. And I'm just going to stick that down in. And then I also have some greenery that I got from Temu. I got a big old pack for next to nothing, like $6. I wish I'd have got 2 packs because they're sold out now. But anyway, I'm sticking all different kinds of greenery, different sizes down into the styrofoam inside my tin can. And then I'm also adding some more red berries in there. And you can use whatever kind of greenery you want. You could, block it by putting some Mod Podge on it and sprinkling on snow. Just make yours up however you want to do them and create a nice little rustic woodland arrangement that you can place on your mantle, on a table, just anywhere. Okay, now for this next project, I'm using this short, it's a Kerr canning jar, and I'm using these deer and some little trees that I got from Temu, and I'm just placing them down into the jar and deciding where I want my placement. Now for this, I'm making a little snow globe, but I'm not going to be using the rim. I'm just going to be using the top part of the jar. You know what I'm talking about. You'll see in a minute what I'm doing, but I'm not going to use the rim. I'm going to save that to make an ornament with later. And I'm just placing my deer down inside, just put some hot glue on their hooves. And then I realized I didn't have my deer in the right place. And not only that, but here in a minute, you'll see, I realized I didn't have my jar turned the right way. And I wanted it to be where the letters are on the back and not in the front so that you could see the scene in there more easily. So I'm just going to re-glue my deer where I want them in the jar, and then I'm going to glue the trees down in there as well. Then I'm going to take this faux snow that I got from Dollar Tree and sprinkle that into the jar, just shaking it around, getting it where I want it. And then I'm going to put hot glue around this middle part of the jar and glue that on top. And then I'm going to take a piece of, this is, what is this called? I don't know what it's called. You know what it is though. Pine garland. I'm using this as, I had already trimmed it down some, but I'm putting that around my jar, and then I'm just going to scuff it up, kind of make it look bushy, and then trim off, the long, really long pieces that I don't want to be on there. And then I'm going to take some greenery, just different kinds of pine, and glue that on top of the jar. What I'm doing is covering up that middle. You're not going to really be able to tell that it is even there whenever I get done. And then I'm going to take some different sized pine cones. These I picked up foraging. Just I know there's several different places in my little town that I know where I can get different kinds of pine cones. And so I picked these up one day and I'm gluing those down onto the top. I'm also going to use some red berries that came in that big old bag of Christmas greenery that I got from Temu. I'm going to glue those on there too. I don't remember exactly how many I used, but I wanted a little pop of color in there. I think that gives it more of a Christmassy vibe when you, especially if it's red. I think red is a really great Christmas color. So I'm just going to glue some of those berries in, and you could also do as much or as little as you want to your arrangement on top of your jar. And then once I get that done, I'm going to take some Mod Podge and I'm just going to put it onto the greenery and the berries and the pine cones, because I'm also going to sprinkle some of that faux snow on top of there. So I'm just going to take it, and I don't want to, real heavy coat, but I want to make sure I have enough that the snow is going to stick. And I don't worry about exact placements or anything like that, just kind of random. And then I just sprinkle the snow on there, shake off the excess, and there we go. So simple and fun, cute little woodland scene inside of a jar. Okay, let's take one final look at all of these projects.
Down the snow-covered lane, kids are singing the refrain. Lights are sparkling in the night, households filled with joy and light. Jesus Santa sleigh bells ring, la 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 la. Gifts under the tree, la 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 la. Love and cheer we bring, la 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 la. This is our Christmas joy, la 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 la. Stockings hung by the fire, hearts full of sweet desire, whispers of hope in the air, family and friends everywhere.
Okay, that's all for this video. Be sure to check the description box for the link to the host channels as well as the playlist for the 12 Days of Christmas collaboration to get lots of Christmas DIY inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Gifts under the tree, la 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 la. Love and cheer we bring, la 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 la. This is our Christmas tree.